Christina here. Today we're going to be talking about the easiest bread rolls on the planet. So if you're one of the lucky ones who still has flour and yeast in your house, this recipe is one that you want to make. You're going to need flour, salt, yeast, and water. The only catch about this one is that you're going to have to prepare the dough the night before and put it in the fridge. But other than that, it's going to be smooth sailing. Okay, so we want to start off with 650 grams of flour, and that is equivalent to about 5 cups. So 650 grams of flour, 5 cups. It could be a combination of white flour, wheat flour, or spelt flour. It doesn't really matter. Then we have salt and yeast. I have salt and yeast in my bowl. 11 grams of salt, which is equal to about 2 teaspoons of salt. And then 3 grams of yeast, which is equal to about 1 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. I'll have those in the show notes so you don't have to memorize anything. We're going to just mix up the flour and the salt and the yeast. And then now is the time, if you want to add any add-ins, just like in the no knead peasant bread, you can do whatever you want here. You can do seeds, nuts, dried fruits, and you can add in about a cup full or 75 grams of whatever add-ins you want. You can add in dried chili pepper, maybe a tablespoon, dried herbs, really anything that you have in the house, or you can have it plain. Today I'm going to make mine plain. Then we add our water, which is 600 grams of water, equivalent to about 2 2/3 cups. Right here. Just gonna mix it up. And remember, this has to stay overnight in the fridge, so you're not going to be able to use this immediately after you mix it up. It has to wait and ferment in the refrigerator. It's going to be very wet, a very wet dough, which is fine. And then that's it. So you're going to cover this with plastic wrap or a lid or some kind of something or other and put it in the refrigerator overnight. Now I have dough that was sitting overnight so that I can show you what it looks like. And here is the dough that I made last night. See the little bubbles in there? That's exactly what you want. The carbon dioxide is reacting with the yeast and the flour and the salt to make those beautiful little bubbles. Okay, now here comes the easy part. Let me move my scale. Here I have a baking tray or a cookie sheet with some kind of, I have a silicone mat. You can also add parchment paper to it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let me get the best angle here. You're going to take 2 spoons. I have serving spoons. These are a little bit larger than tablespoons. If you don't have serving spoons, tablespoons are fine. So you just pick up a blob of dough on the spoon, and you're going to take the other spoon and just put the blob of dough on the parchment lined or silicone lined baking sheet. And you can make them as big or small as you want. I tend to get bigger blobs. And you want, instead of spreading them out, you can fold them and stack them higher, just like that. Just stack them high. You can put maybe more dough on there. And this one here. Do it again. It's okay if they look like blobs on the cookie sheet. That's what you want, blobs on the cookie sheet. Move this way. You can see the last 2. Again, blobs on the cookie sheet. You do not have to knead this dough. It comes right out of the refrigerator onto the sheet. You can stack them high. Okay, I'm going to put 6 on this cookie sheet. If you don't use up all the dough, which we didn't, you can totally stick this back in the refrigerator for later. I'll put this over to the side. Okay, while I was preparing the dough, I preheated my oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. So after I put the blobs of dough on the cookie sheet, they're going in the oven because it's already preheated. setting the timer for 20 minutes. You see that? 20 minutes. Hey, if you don't have any yeast in your house or you can't find any in the stores right now, you can always make my no-knead, yeast-free peasant bread, and I'll put a link in the show notes for you. That's just as good, and it comes together in about 35 minutes from start to finish. Hey, I also wanted to tell you that I made gluten-free rolls with the brand King Arthur, gluten-free, all-purpose flour brand, and they turned out like this. When you pull the dough out from the refrigerator, it's not going to be bubbly like the dough that I showed you there. They're not as good as the other ones, but edible. The timer went off. It has been 25 minutes. I originally said 20, but they needed an extra 5, and here they are. They are so good. Cross section. Oh, yum. Okay, so what you're going to want to do, put them on a cooling rack so that the air gets underneath. They're very soft, which makes them good for sandwiches or butter or just a nosh. I'll show you one close up. Wow, look at that, right? Very nice. That's it. That's all you have to do. These rolls are so good. It's going to make you want to sing out loud. Yummy, 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 I got bread in my tummy. Yummy, yum. Thank you for stopping by. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up. Also subscribe. It helps me to provide more content for you. Ciao for now. If you want more songs, I tend to do only one show a night. Sorry.